This is my modified Harbor Freight bead roller, and it works pretty good, except it's a little bit too fast when you get going around curves. I'm going to just do a quick demonstration with some of this expensive sheet metal here. So on a straightaway, that's fine, but as you try to follow the curve, it's just a little bit too quick to be able to accurately follow the curve. So what I'm going to do today is dig through the scrap pile, find some stuff, slow it down a little bit. A sprocket, some chain. Well, I kind of left you behind a little bit there. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do to get the spokes out of the hub. I do not have a wrench to pull this freewheel out of here. So I took the gear cassette apart. This particular one just has a nut on top of it. And you see those little indentations on the inside of it right there. That's screwed into this. I just took a punch, got on one of those little indentations, started tapping on it while I held the entire gear cluster with a pipe wrench. Like I said, I didn't even know if that was going to work. That's why I didn't video it. But it did work. Held onto the gear cluster with a pipe wrench and tapped that loose. So what I found out is, rather than cutting these off longer like this and trying to drag them all the way through, if I get right down close to it like that and cut and face that towards the table so it doesn't fly across the shop. All right, where'd that one go? Yeah, they just fall right out. Just a little plastic spacer goes between each one of the gears. The gear has a flat square that goes where the wide space is, and just stack them all back on there. Spacer, gear, spacer, etc., etc., etc. All the way up to the last gear, and then put the nut back on. What I'm going to do is mount this gear set right about in here, using these two plates I found in the scrap metal bin for the slots to adjust the chain. The motor is going to have to be moved over so it will line up with the large gear, and then we'll go back to the small gear up to the driven gear, and that should reduce my speed by about half what I have now. And if I don't like it, maybe I can use one of these other gear sets. Pulled it straight out of the scrap pile and it doesn't even work. Well, this is something like what I envisioned. Now I've just got to get the drive motor set back in here and lined up with this gear. What I'm going to do is just set some blocks in here. And I don't know what height I'll need yet for sure. Get this out of the way. Untangle some cords. The easiest way to do this is going to be to measure the height of the gear right there, and then measure the height of the gear under the power unit, but that won't fit. So I've come up with this high-tech measuring device, almost laser precision, almost. All right, there's our driven gear, and right in here, that's our drive gear. And right now, I am way too high. And see if that gets me any closer. That is pretty close. I could start getting my bracket set up from that and then fine tune it from there. And I'm lucky enough to be able to use the original brackets just by bending them a little bit. And a quick bend in my little brake. See how that fits? Close enough. All right, I just got a real scrappy scrap out of here. Got gloves on, trying not to lose a finger. All right, let's see if this thing will actually pull a piece of metal through it. That was a pretty healthy bite. That's 18 gauge metal. Chain didn't pop off. I'll call that a win. But this does look pretty dangerous. So I think it's time to kill a few more cereal boxes. Stretch them all out on a piece of sheet metal. Get out the crayons. Trace around them. Add in a few extra lines here and there where bends ought to be, and such as that. Well, that's not going to work. I think you got a few more steps to finish. Yeah, if you look carefully, right about here is where things go off the rails. If you're very spatially aware, you will notice that this is being folded inside out, backwards. Being as it's just a chain guard cover, I was able to straighten it out and rebend it the correct way. But man, it sucks when you do stuff like this. Stupid, stupid. And here we go, looking like it'll fit. I have to curve this part. Tack welds along here. This bends down. This rolls over. A couple spot welds there. Getting close. And that's another sidetrack project. that keeps taking me away from my main project. But it's something that needs to be done, and with the chain guard on it now, I might even keep all my fingers. All in all, I don't think it looks too bad. Hell, I might even paint this thing before it rusts. You never know.